right.
kick us off and yeah, then keep
Right.
going. Okay, when you're ready.
Okay. I called this February 26, 2026 regular meeting of the Code Board of Appeals to order. It is now 4:18. Roll call. Mr. Turnbull, will you call roll and acknowledge the quorum?
Yes. Board members, Brian Dahl. Davis.
Present.
Pellegrini.
Present.
Reefsteck.
Present.
And Thompson.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum.
All right. So this brings us to public comment. This portion of the meeting is an opportunity for members of the public to comment on any item they desire. This is comment only, so the board will refrain from dialogue. Each person speaking shall state their name and will be limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone here from the public that wishes to provide public comment? Seeking no public comment, we'll move on to our discussion items. All right. For today, discussion on proposed amendments to Title 8 and Title 15 of the Savoy Municipal Code related to the adoption of the 2024 International Code, ICC, Family of Codes, and other related codes, specifically the International Building Code, IBC, International Residential Code, IRC, International Existing Building Code, IEBC, International Fire Code, IFC, International Fuel Gas Code, IFGC, International Mechanical Code, IMC, International Property Maintenance Code, IPMC, and the 2023 NFPA 70 National Electric Code, NEC. Mr. Turnbull, would you please lead the general discussion?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this meeting is more just a follow-up from our last one. At the last meeting, we kind of went through our spiel of what staff is recommending for proposals. So this meeting is a kind of a chance to touch deeper on some of those items and also give the members of the board a chance to propose any amendments that they would like to see. So I guess with that being said, anyone have any thoughts, ideas, questions, anything we need to get into? I'm going to touch a little bit more on a few things, but I guess before we get going, was there any questions before I get into it?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, so we got Mr. Thompson today, so I did want to touch on one of our proposed amendments, which was allowing certain receptacles and kitchen islands and peninsulas in certain areas. This has been an ongoing kind of conversation in the NEC about where and how to allow outlets. And previously on our current code, you can pretty well put them anywhere. Issue with that is having cords dangling off of the work surface creates some issues, could potentially be pulled off the countertop. Someone in a wheelchair could snag it, drag it off the countertop. So in the 2023, their solution was to not allow any receptacle at all on an island or a peninsula unless it's a pop-up on the island. So it pops up out of the countertop, otherwise you can't have them anywhere else. The 2026 NEC, which just came out, it's got published, they kind of went back on that a little bit. They thought that was maybe a little bit too restrictive. So they're kind of trying to meet it in the middle and allow receptacles that are more than 24 inches from the work surface. So try my cursor. So if we were to adopt the 2023 as is, that receptacle actually would not be allowed. In either wood, you can kind of see it that one. People, I guess, thought that was a little bit too restrictive. You know, that's an outlet that's more commonly going to be used for like maybe a vacuum cleaner or something, not so much going to be utilized for cooking. So just to add a little bit more flexibility, try to prevent extension cords. The 2026 proposing, yes, you can have outlets on an island or a peninsula, but again, they have to be 24 inches from the workspace. And since we're on the 23, we thought maybe it'd be a good idea to kind of take that recommendation from the new 2026 and bring that in now. Is there any thoughts on that? I mean,
I agree with you on that.
okay.
Yeah. The type
can't put them on the side either, so that's the red, so you can't put them on the side either.
Correct. If we
It's a drop down.
Yep. If we did the 2023 as proposed, or as it's written, no outlets anywhere, unless it's a pop-up. So yeah, this is kind of, I think, a little bit like a happy medium ground. But again, that's what we're proposing. I'm here to facilitate the conversation. At the end of the day, it's your guys' decision to make. So
I guess I'll throw it out as not as a home builder, but that seems a little something residents, new homeowners would probably not want. I don't know if that really matters to this discussion. You know,
You're saying they want the outlets to be
Yeah.
able to be placed like
Correct.
right next to
Yeah,
them.
especially the one. I mean, am I wrong about that?
No, you're right.
No, yeah. So I don't know that it particularly matters, though, right? I mean, it seems like this is already the code. This is what we're adopting, and it is what it is.
yeah, once we get through this process, it becomes what it is. This is our chance to make it how we want it. So
I'd hit them on the side.
yeah, I think
I would leave them on the side. That's exactly how I would do it. Too.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, I think the side one is with the one I would say.
Okay, and I think the logic that with the 24 inches, that's going to be longer than most cores to like a cooking or a countertop appliance, so you're not going to be able to reach that receptacle. So, yeah. And again, the issue now with the 2023 is having 0 receptacles is fine. It seems a little odd to me, especially when these kitchen islands are kind of in the middle of the room. Makes sense to have some on the side that could be utilized for something other than cooking. So if that's kind of our general agreement on that, we comfortable with that? Tom?
Yeah.
Good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have anything else? I know you missed the last one, Tom. Anything electrical wise 2023 that you want to kind of touch on
No.
that you've had issues with, or anything that
No.
is notable?
No,
Okay.
really, we haven't.
Okay, and the other thing I want to touch on quickly was the extended plate wall construction. This is a diagram that kind of better shows it than probably I could explain it. But essentially what we're looking at, again, this is just an appendix. There's 0 requirement that we do this. This is just an option that we can do if we chose to. But at the end of the day, no requirement to this at all. So if you feel uncomfortable at all about this, we can strike this and move on. But kind of the extent of it is, this is would be an option for a builder to use a 2x6 top plate with a 2x4 stud cavity wall. That would allow for 2x4 bat insulation and then a 2-inch rigid foam board on top of that. So your 2x6 top plate and your rigid foam board are now flush. Rigid foam board is really good for insulation because you don't have thermal bridging, which is what you do have with bat insulation. So this is a nice continuous insulation it's really effective for what it does. Being continuous is a big perk. And if you do this method, you're no longer needing to buy customized like window and door jambs. So it's an option. I don't know if builders would necessarily take this option and present it to them, but it would be an option to them. But again, the downside is that we're now going from 2x6s to 2x4s and some wall construction, and that has its downsides as well. So pros and cons, obviously, to this option, but be happy to.
Did Keith say anything to you?
Not yet. I've
Okay.
not heard from Keith about this. I was hoping
I
he'd
would
be here
assume
today.
there are some restrictions elsewhere within the code for like using 2x4 walls. So I would think that would protect, builders from using something that's undersized or something. So I don't know for sure, but it doesn't seem super concerning to me. It's not usual, but
Okay.
it does seem like, honestly, it seems like a cool idea to get that, because we've struggled with how do you get that rigid board insulation attached there. So I think it sounds interesting.
Okay. Yeah, again, would love to have Keith's input too. Since he's not here today, I can try to get his thoughts before the next meeting.
I did reach out to him and talk to him about it,
Okay.
and he said he had COVID. So I don't know if he still would have residual or where he's at with that.
Okay.
Could be busy, but he did say he was going to look into this and get back to you.
Okay.
So maybe we can bump him again.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, So those are kind of two things that we kind of touched on at the last meeting that I think need to be kind of drilled down into a little bit further. We can wait on Keith to kind of give us his feedback, but we're comfortable at least keeping it as an option
Yeah.
for now.
So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sometimes maybe I'm slow. Tommy's gonna be like, yeah, you are slow. But anyway, on the side of the island, the electrical outlet is
Yeah.
okay. Going back to that, that is what we're saying.
On the side, yeah.
On this side of the
Yeah,
island,
okay.
yes, okay.
Yep,
Sorry.
and just more than 24 inches from
More.
the workspace.
Got it, okay, thank you.
Yep. And honestly, that's what I had for kind of amendments. Anything else we need to touch on? Anyone can think of? Okay. So I guess that leaves us with the option of our next meeting, if we keep it as is, that's gonna be our public hearing, and that's kind of our final meeting. We'll have to do notice in the newspaper, so that's a pretty relatively important meeting for us to get scheduled and make sure that we're gonna be comfortable with what we're looking to do,
Should I be on time for that meeting?
preferably.
I just wanted to check in, which one I need to be on time for.
Yeah. Our options are we can either add another meeting prior to the public hearing, or we can jump right to it. What are you guys thinking? We feel comfortable with the next one being our public hearing?
I would be comfortable with that.
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. So we're looking at April 2nd. Again, since we're gonna be doing notice in the newspaper and everything else, we'll have to, I'll still reach out, make sure that's good with everyone.
Yep.
But if anyone has any conflicts with that date, please let me know sooner than later.
Okay.
And yeah, then once we get through that public hearing, we'll put the codes on display for 2 weeks and we'll send it up to the trustees. That's what I got.
This is me, getting back to we're gonna approve the minutes or no?
If we're, no further discussion on that, we can,
I think so.
go to the minutes.
All right, this brings us to approval of the minutes from the January 29, 2026 Code Board of Appeals meeting. Is there any correction to meeting minutes? I'll entertain a motion to approve. All right, we got a second from Mr. Thompson here.
Okay.
If there are any corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the March 1st, 2022
Oops,
meeting.
sorry, I
Yep,
did not change that.
That's all right.
All
All right, so how about, yeah,
2026.
that's all right, we'll back up there. January, what is it, 2029 meeting as corrected, correct?
Yeah, does anyone have any changes they want to see done to the minutes?
So we get those approved? Second, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Struble, please call roll.
Okay, board members Davis, Pellegrini,
Approved?
Reestack, and Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, minutes approved.
All right, adjournment. Chair, will you request a motion to adjourn?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None. All right.
None.
You're adjourned.
All right,
Thank you, everyone.
thank you.
Hold on for a second. Tim, we got one more thing for you at the end.
I do. Actually, I got it.
What's that?
I've never.
Well, they like the mail person.
Sam, I have not turned it in
Comes
either.
in, like, I thought I was